walking right by me like it's nothing. Fuck you thinking. I saw you feeling me across the room. Now let me have you come here. Can we skip the games and the 3-day text? Oh baby, you have got nothing to fear. Do you fuck with me or am I losing it? Trying to make things clear. Let me take you to my place. Just leave the talking to me and open up, you'll see that I wanna take you back to my place. Just take a walk with me so everyone can see us. What if I told you that I knew I'd figure it out without a doubt? I'd say, so get those eyes on me from across the room. Oh, let me have you come here. Can we skip the games and the 3-day text? Oh baby, you have got nothing to fear. Fuck with me or am I losing it? Trying to make things clear. Neutron! Is she for real? I'm looking at you, walking right by me like it's nothing. Fuck you thinking. Let me take you to my place. Just leave the talking to me and open up, you'll see that I wanna take you back to my place. Just take a walk with me so everyone can see us. Let me take having trouble finding my past in places I've known to call home. And even if I could recover, I still wouldn't have a reason to stay here. No, I would keep running from who I am now, desperately looking for someone to heal me. Please make yourself appear from the mist. I know I can see you now, I can't refuse. Please make your way out of the dark now. Make me believe that I still have reason to stay here. I'm lost without you. I'll move every mountain here for you. Let it go, just let it go. I want us to go where we last held on. I'll fall without you, right to the ground beneath the grass I'll lay. My bones will shed the tears I left, leaving the memory we once shared. I'll be the one who says sorry for the life I gave you then. I'll come out the dark now. Make me believe that I still have a reason to stay. I'm lost without you. I'll move every mountain here for you. Let it go, just let it go. I want us to go where we last held on. I'm lost without you. I'll move every mountain here for you. Let it go, just let it go. I want us to go where we last held on.
Well, take a look at price for XRP coming in super hot. Please do me the favor, team. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. How is everyone doing tonight and today? I know that, of course, I'm coming on a little bit late here for the East Coast, but I am here and I am alive nonetheless. So just like always, guys, just like the traditional way like we used to do back in the day, do me a favor and throw those A's in the chat right away, team. Throw those A's in the chat so I know that you can hear my voice and that you are alive and awake enough to watch this little momentous move here on crypto, right? So I want to find out exactly why that is. But before we get started, do me that favor, team. Throw those A's in the chat. I want to know that you guys are here with me, right? Very cool deal indeed. There we go. Already seeing some familiar faces in the crowd here, guys. Thank you so much for stopping on by. Really appreciate you. My name is ARCa, right? Coming at you here on Pacific time, 8:44 p.m. on Sunday, December 28th. This is an interesting situation here, team. But I gotta tell you. I mean, I'm not even gonna, play like a wizard or nothing, right? Because it doesn't really have anything to do with wizardry, right? It has to do more with just me observing the charts, just like anyone else would, right? Hopefully, I can show some talent. Hopefully, I can show some consistency, and you can get some good information out of this, right, guys? That's always what it's kind of been about, right? But I'm really excited to see everybody in here tonight, and we're gonna go ahead and just let that room fill just a little bit before we get this thing going. Well, let's see. Mark is saying, will it be a pump and dump? Well, I gotta say, brother, there is always that potential, right? The markets are full of treachery, and the markets are always a very interesting place to be in, right? But we're gonna go ahead and find out here, because I think that if the dump from the pump were there, well, we might have already seen it, right? I didn't come on right away in respects to exactly what you're talking about, right? So I want to also show you guys something, right? This was actually a thread of analysis that I put out just last night, right, guys? Take a look at this one. This is our post from last night saying that, or actually this early this morning, maybe, right? So we posted this saying that we'd have the bounce, right? Here is the bounce, is how we actually put it down. And that's pretty much what happened, right, guys? So very, very, very cool stuff. I know that I got a little bit of hate on this, right? Saying for me to open my eyes, it's not moving anywhere. But in fact, we did get a pretty nice move to this upside. I want to show you guys exactly what I'm seeing here regarding volatility and momentum, and maybe that can highlight some type of I don't know, maybe I can show you a new idea as to how to observe the markets, right? We're going to explain it here. We're going to put it together here, and I see that the room is now starting to fill up a little bit better and better and better and better. So I'm just going to go ahead and repeat it one more time here, except we're going to go ahead and now, I believe the camera is ready to go. Yeah, there we go. Let's go ahead and start showing. For some of you out there who haven't seen my setup, you know, since the move, here it is, right, guys? So let's go ahead and show ourselves. We are back. We are in action here, guys. So do me the favor. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive, just like we said earlier, right, guys? Thank you so much for all that attention. So what you're observing here, guys, is actually one of the newest proprietary trading algorithms that we put together. This is called CHRONOSYS. And CHRONOSYS, with time, actually did give you a pretty nice entry condition right down here at 185.88. And it is, you know, particular to the targets that we spoke of yesterday. In fact, I think we may have dropped a little lower. I can't remember. If you are, okay, you let me know, okay? If you are aware of last night's video or this morning's video, please, a big bank, nice. Please let me know if this target was the one that I spoke of. Was it 186 to 187, or was it 184 to 187? And the reason why I asked that is because of this. So this was a very, you know, simple little quick drawing here that we put together last night. And we were observing the potentials of a downside diamond pennant, right, guys? This is some more, what are we going to call it? We can call it crayon drawings and little kindergarten figurines that we can put together here to determine price action for the immediate short term or for the longer term, right? So we did. I don't mean to be... Guys, I know a lot of really successful traders who use just pattern analysis, and that's okay. All right, stop hating. I'm just kidding, guys. But yeah, this is you know, your diamond pennant is something that is used in psychology, right? So for example, this, you can actually take your resistance tops like this, right, and determine the upside just by applying this trend line here to the center of your triangle, right? So this would be right around this area here to give you that top side. Cool. So there is another way to do it too. It would be from the breakout of the candle that you just kind of closed without any exposure in this thing here. But we're going to go ahead and focus on the continuation of price, right, guys? So again, you just gave you that example, right? This candle was the one that first closed without any exposure inside. So this would be another way of observing upside targets too, just to give you kind of a range, right? There are a few ways to observe these little drawings, a few ways to kind of interpret them and put together here as I don't know, right? Give it a notion, right? An idea, a probability. Now, a lot of these formations, sure, they have a great hit rate. This doesn't happen very much, but I do have to show you this. Check this out. Yesterday, we noticed the same thing on Ethereum. And if you do remember that thesis as well, then you're going to remember that Ethereum also had a very, very similarly kind of flat and ugly, you know, diamond pennant here. But this was us already speaking of the potentials to the upside. We were signaling a move yesterday from around that 2,900 all the way up to these targets of around 3,067, guys. So this is already looking pretty good. Why is this important for us? Well, that's because of volatility, man. The reason why this is so incredibly important for us is because of the cascading effect of volatility. Please, no pun intended whatsoever, but it is the rippling of time. Oh my goodness. So what do I mean by that? So, when you have a volatility, when we're talking about volatility, you guys are already thinking, man, there goes this nerd talking about volatility, blah, blah, blah. So let's use XRP for the example instead of Ethereum here, because we already know that Ethereum and XRP are kind of tied to the knees here, and they do kind of reflect each other pretty nicely. Everyone is telling me in the chat that, oh, it's Bitcoin, whatever Bitcoin does, blah, 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 blah. We all know that, guys. Bitcoin does that. Yes, it's because it's just think of it as the index, right? Just like the NASDAQ is to the stocks and the S&P 500 to stocks, everything has its index, the guide per se. But there are times, right, that moves can happen within the smaller space. And in this case, actually XRP is not too small. This thing is considered a large cap now. So this could have its own life too. But it looks like the entire market is actually pretty bullish right now. And I think it happened all at once. Now, for example, the S&P 500 futures contracts are starting to get a little bullish right now too, moving alongside crypto. So it's broader market. It really is an everything event. So let me go ahead and show you what I was talking about. I want you to picture volatility or use volatility in linear like this, right? These are all proprietary algorithms that I've put together myself, guys. These are ones that I distribute for free in my trading Discord, and people use these tools, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at this volatility signal. Now, this is a 2-hour time frame chart, right? It takes 2 hours for every candle to kind of close and open and do its thing, right? So 2 hours of life. This is a critical contraction area below. Contraction meaning that you are not really having too many people buying or selling, right? No one is really down here at all. So that means that it's contracted. That I guess in another perspective, think of volatility as a cloud, right? So this cloud would be contracted very, very much close to each other, the bounds, right, of volatility. So when you start getting participation, long or short, right, either or, just more participation, volatility will expand, right? It'll start deviating away from each other. Why is that? Well, the deviation away from each other on volatility means that people are trying to buy lower and people are trying to sell higher, or people are short getting squeezed, all kinds of things. The bid and ask spread starts to expand, right? People buying here way lower, people want to buy over here, so they're bidding really low, and people want to sell all the way over there, so they're asking really high, right? That's the expansion of volatility, the dynamic. So if we're looking at volatility here in a linear form, right, this is very simple. It's just the bottom side is no activity, right? No buyers and sellers. And as we throttle or hit the gas on your car, we are expanding. We're getting more buyers and sellers. Not direct. This is direction neutral. So what gives you the bias to the direction? The directional bias is given to you by momentum. So should you have expanding volatility, otherwise known as throttling, right, that car, then we would essentially see a rippling event of starting from a shorter time frame with a breakout of volatility, directional upside for many time frames. So what's happening here is great. That means that your immediate short-term time frames are going to start experiencing some pullbacks, right? And that's great, because the pullbacks that happen from that immediate short-term time frame to validate whatever support that it needs to have, that just means that we are actually at support and we are ready now for the next wave to happen. So I'm going to put it to you like this. Think of a body of water, right? And you have like this plank of wood. Think of yourself as a 5-minute time frame, right? And you want to get the attention of like your 10 and 15 minutes. You're a 5-minute person, right? And you're looking at the 10-minute person all the way over there. So how are you going to get the attention of this person without yelling? But you do need to do it through volatility and water, right? So you're probably going to want to slap on that water really hard and see if you can get that ripple to kind of go all the way over there and catch the attention of those people. But you're realizing that you can't do that. So not one person in 5 minutes, right? But you would need a group of people in the 5-minute time frame to start, kind of rippling and creating all these waves everywhere so that it can reach 10 or 15 minutes. In this case, you did that. So very much you rippled like crazy with a bunch of people. Now your 10 to 15 minute people are starting to catch it, right? Here's your 5. Check it out. Here's your 5-minute time frame, right? And the initial upside started right around down here, right? So you're starting to pick up, you're starting to expand like crazy. So notice the waves. This is what I mean. So you'll start crazy, right? You'll start going insane on that volatility push. And as you make those waves to the upside, this 5-minute time frame then communicates with a 15-minute time frame. So the 15-minute time frame hears you, and then it starts to expand as well. It starts to go like crazy. So maybe the hourly or maybe 30-minute people can hear you. So that then successfully happens, right? Destiny, I'm going to go ahead and mute you over here because I can hear you. Hold on. I got you. All right. So let me go. Okay. So now you got the 15-minute people rippling hard enough to get the attention of the 30. Did we? Okay. Let's look at the 30. Wow. Well, look at the 30. Huge contraction. We had no participation. And then out of nowhere, we start rippling like crazy, right? Then here's momentum getting ready for a pullback. That's great. This is okay. The pullback is fine. It's fine. That's based on your dynamics of volatility and momentum. Now, the 30-minute people do it. Do they reach the hourly and buy hourly? Let's go ahead and check. And this is how we can determine the continuation of volatility versus momentum. So check this out. This is the participation here. No one around. And out of nowhere, all of those timeframes are starting to ripple like crazy, right? All the way to the 30. Now, the hourly time frame also sees it. So it hits one big one. And then you have that bah, and you get this huge expansion signal, right? You get a huge push to the upside, favoring the upside. Now, does the hourly reach 2? Does the 2-hour reach 4? Does the 4 ripple into 6 and 8? Does the 8-hour ripple into days? Now, if we have this upside with volatility expanding, just like the way this is doing, hitting the throttle, right? On a 4-hour, we can already determine a potential continuation of this trend for at least the next day. So let's see. Here's the bi-hourly time frame, 2 hours worth, huge push in volatility and major upside. Look at that. So we are reaching the 2-hour people too. Now let's go ahead and take a look at maybe the 4-hour. I know that one's going to be a little bit of a push, but we may actually have some activity there because the 2-hour time frame has only done just about one, maybe a half a push of its own thrust into that body of water so that it can reach the 4 and 8 hours, 4 and 6 and 8 hours, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at that 4-hour. Look at the push. It's just starting. You see that? This is the ripple of time and volatility. This is how momentum and volatility work. This is how we don't, guys, I am just for everyone that has the type of thing that where you say, well, you know, the institutions manipulate all these tools and everything, right, guys? Well, I don't know that they would manipulate the tool from the author, right? So I'm the one who wrote them. I'm the one who, all of these tools are actually mine. They're proprietary to ARCa trading systems. So there's really, you know, I'm not allowing any of that. So I want to make sure that that is abundantly clear here. So these systems are developed by me. I wrote them completely. I'm the author, and the only place you can find them are through me. Okay, now you can see that the 4-hour time frame just barely hit maybe a couple of people here, just hit its thrust, and it's starting to expand after massive contraction. So I want you to remember this. Every time frame before have been expanding from this blue area, right? That's the cool thing here, that everybody has been within these contractive levels, meaning no activity has been happening this entire time. So now that we're all these time frames are all expanding from that immediate 15%, and with a critical push and an upside bias. That means that the explosion could be bigger than normal. The more time frames you have within this contraction exploding at the same time, all in concert, the bigger that pop. Okay, so now we know that we at least have about a days of upside. So let's go towards the 6-hour. Have we gotten there just yet? Look at that candle on the 6-hour. Look at this. We're just starting to peak above 15%. The 6-hour are already listening too. And I don't know that the 8-hour is yet, but let's look anyway. Okay, check this out. Oh my goodness, the 8-hour is starting to react to this. Look at this. We're starting to spike in volatility from all that blue contraction. If you're curious about these bars here, that just tells you how many time frames you've been under critical, which is 0.2% volatility contraction. It's all the way down there, meaning that's the most low that you could be, and it sets you alerts as to how long you've been there. Each bar is 8 hours worth. Can you imagine how long that's been there without anybody doing anything until now? So for sure, you're gonna catch a whole bunch of other time frames and price action exploding because of that. Mathematically speaking, guys, I'm telling you, yes, we do have a big bank probably buying. We do have a whale probably doing whatever. But why would it happen exactly when all these time frames reached contraction together? So the probabilities of expanding when all of those time frames are visiting that critical contraction zone start to become a bigger and bigger and bigger probability. So the more you have in there, the bigger the explosion. So now we're seeing that the 8 hours even pushing with an upside. We're not done with upside yet. Let's keep it going. This is your 12-hour time. We're in contraction. Volatility hasn't even been felt, but we're already facing upward. So that's still an upside. Let's go to the daily. How far can we take this? Because how far we take this, whatever time frame we end with that upside bias is gonna be the target through the average true range. What do I mean by average true range? Every single candle here is measured every day, right? By algorithms, by the trading software, which is this is a trading view, right? Every single one is measured to give you an average range from its inception. So a daily time frame appears to move just about 8 cents up or down from the opening of the day any day. So today's bar opened up at 186.367. So the retrace of this, or the continuation to the upside, would give you, right here on my algorithm is telling you current ATR top or daily ATR top is 194.626. We've already reached 191, so we know that already. We still have space to go within 1 day's typical range. Now, the typical range isn't exactly highlighting this type of volatility move, right? We've seen before that, yeah, we can have some major ones and then just fail, but do we have the consistency? And did we have the positioning for it, right? The difference is that this one here, that big green bar that we printed there, this one already had this much volatility entered. What about this one though? Right? And stochastic momentum, when we were at this point here, stochastics were sort of facing up. They're nice, but volatility was already trying to mature. But look at this one's volatility. We haven't even started and we're already making that upside, which tells me one thing. This is telling me now that we have macro timeframes closing. And usually when you have macro timeframes closing, you have a de-risk institutionally. It could be day traders. It could be whatever. So that means that people are exiting their positions in light of closing their time frame that they're observing in the larger time frames. Because we do have traders in 10-week candles. We have traders in a 3-month candle. But guess what's happening here in just a few days? Everybody's gonna say, yeah, you have the year end, so that means that your yearly candle is closing. Yes, but not only that. The thing that many people don't talk about is what exactly is closing this, well, number one, confluently in concert would be 12 months, right? All at once. But what people are not speaking of is actually that we're closing for the first time in a long time. It takes 2 years to close a biannual. So we're closing that in concert of the first year, right? We're also closing a 4-year, and that takes once every 4 years to close, right? We're also closing an 8-year candle, and that takes 8 years for it to happen. And we're closing all of those in just a few days. So that iteration isn't exactly something that happens all the time. If anything, it's a huge success that cryptocurrency is continuing and now closing a macro time frame like that. It's actually a celebration. Psychologically speaking, that can introduce further upside. Okay, screw all that. Let's go ahead and find out if we still have upside continuation. Since the daily time frame on XRP is still upside here, we haven't even moved volatility. That tells us that when this bar closes in around 18 hours, 19 hours, whatever that is, that's when volatility will react to that move. We need first the bar to close for volatility to read what it did. That's why it's not moving yet. So let's go to the 2-day. Are we still facing upward on momentum? 2-day time frame is starting to move upward. So I think that as soon as we have this, guys, this is per the strategy, right? As soon as we have the momentum facing downward, both moving averages, listen to that, both moving averages, if they are not pivoted towards the upside and we have absolute downside here, that gives us the ATR of whatever time frame we're on that we can move up. So let's find the downside. Where the heck is it? Here's the 3-day time frame. Momentum is showing, my goodness, the 3-day time frame is actually pivoted to the upside and we're expanding. Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. Here we go again, man. So we actually have an upside pivot on a 4-day time frame. No expansion just yet, but we still have about a day and 19 hours to close. Let's see the 5-day. Okay, here we go. It's getting a little closer, but because of this kink here, we're still on an upside trend, right? We still have 2 days and 19 hours. My goodness. All right, weekly time. Not quite yet. We need the kink we need both of these moving averages to be pivoted to the downside. I mean, absolutely pivoted to the downside or nothing. Guys, you need to follow your structure here. You need to follow the process exactly the way it is, and that's how you'll be able to discipline yourself into understanding the probability targets like that, right? It has to be, or if it isn't, it isn't. If it is, it is. That type of mentality, right? Okay, still no, right? We're still kinked here. That we need both of these averages to be straight down. Let's go to the monthly time. There we go. See how that monthly time frame is now introducing to you an actual downside? That's the last time frame that we can use for the average true range for an upside move. Okay, so we are sitting at 191, and we're noticing here that we're closing this monthly time frame in 2 days and 19 hours. So I gotta tell you guys a little tiny secret when I'm talking about regarding trading in general. Okay, I'm gonna shortcut the crap out of a lot of people here. There is an average time to decompress any candle that's moving up or down. So if there is a candle that's moving up, there is an average time that it'll decompress to its 50% before continuing. So that can add pressure for more upside. In this case, we're going down. And this would retrace to the 50% at an average time. Now, when would that time be, though? How can we determine that for us? Okay, so it looks like also we are about to turn down on that bi-monthly time frame, but that's not a bad thing. This could also tell us that it could be bi-month or 1 month average upside. Okay, so let's think about it. A one-day candle will typically decompress or retrace to its 50% when it's going up, right? It'll decompress to the 50 before going up again, and then also downward, right? Inversely so. At around 1 hour prior to the close is your daily. Around 2 hours prior to closing, the 2-day time frame I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, it's 2 hours prior to the closing of a 2-day. 3 hours for the 3-day. 4 for the 4-day. 5 for the 5-day. Add a little bit of discretion because of time. You know, time will ripple and time will vary. Now, a weekly time frame shows that we can retrace at around 6.25 hours prior to closing that weekly bar. We're talking about a monthly though, right? Okay, so let's start from there. If we have a monthly bar retrace, and we need to figure that out, but we already know that the weekly time frame does 6.25. That means that 2 weeks do about 12.50, right? So 12.50 hours prior to closing 2 weeks. Great. So what does that mean for the monthly? We just group those two together and put, a month is 4 weeks, right? So 4 weeks in a month, that tells us that we have about 25 hours prior to the closing of a monthly time frame for this thing to decompress. So that would be a whole day, right? What happens here? Now, we are just at about that time frame soonish, right? In 19 hours, we would be right at 1 day. And the 50% of this monthly time frame, right, would be roughly at around this target here of about 190, 198. So we're still looking for upside. We're still waiting for more upside because, typically speaking, psychologically speaking, we have retraces that are already embedded into the behavior from the beginning of trading, guys. So, you know, for example, this. We can experience a very, very huge bullish news, big time bullish news on this, but nothing happens. And then we'll start seeing in the comments everywhere that this was a huge nothing burger and nothing moved, right? So have you ever, actually, let me know in the chat, have you ever felt that where you saw the catalyst get announced that day and it was such a huge catalyst that we should have had a huge price action break, but nothing at all happened when that news announcement came in? Has anybody ever felt that out of XRP? Please let me know in the comments below. I mean, tell me what actually, you know what? Tell me what the catalyst was and price action didn't move, right? This is something that happens often enough and not a lot of people know why or how that is to really become. So when you do know, well, yeah. Somebody said every day. Every day this thing tends to fine. Fair enough. Okay. So yeah, I guess you know, some crazy yeah, we have the ETFs, right? We have the IPOs, we have all kinds of things coming in, and still price action doesn't actually. Yeah, there you go, right? So now Ralph is saying, remembering when the XRP case was dropped, right? So now Captain Kelly, my brother, saying Singapore or Africa adopting XRP. So any of these catalysts that were announced on that day didn't really happen. Well, there are two different dynamics for that to be observed. How? Well, the first dynamic would be that there could be a retrace on an upside that happens more typically than an announcement of Singapore and Africa being set into motion for XRP. What do I mean by that in actual human words? ARCa, can you please tell us what the heck that means in human terms? Stop with volatility and stop with crazy metrics and mitochondrias. Okay, what is it? Okay, so if I'm going to put it to you in simple terms, then I'm going to say this. Sometimes when you wake up, right, in the morning, even though you hear, like, even though you smell the coffee and you smell the breakfast downstairs, right? It's amazing, right? But for some reason, something is preventing you from going down there to your favorite meal in the morning forever. What is holding you back? Well, your typical behaviors was holding you back is that you need to go to the bathroom and take a poop. And that happens every single AM for you. That's your behavior. So maybe, just maybe, you're going to go to the bathroom and you know, drop a deuce or two, right? And then go to your awesome catalyst, which is your food. That kind of thing is embedded in every single ticker ever in existence. It doesn't matter if it's crypto. It doesn't matter if it's the bonds. It doesn't matter if it's the yield. It doesn't matter if it's an index, forex, futures, equities, commodities, anything, guys, anything and everything behaves by that fact, because we have been existing longer than the potential catalyst that just got announced here. The significance of the African thing versus the significance of the African thing versus Singapore. Yeah, that's great. It's perfectly put. But that doesn't mean that you don't have to go to the bathroom when you wake up, right? You still have to do that. And then maybe we can start observing the continuation of the great announcement. That's one way of observing it. The second way of observing it, for you guys to understand how this thing can actually push, how it moves, I want you to know that as soon as you know, right, the earliest people to get the information that this thing is going to pop to the upside because it's getting the closure of the case, it's going to be dismissed forever, this is amazing. Everybody already is hearing that news and everybody is passing it along. So that means that from the moment that the idea of closing this, although not already said, but you with heavy conviction that it is, and everyone else too, will manifest the upside and price it in before it actually gets announced. Because that tends to be a moment that you're already free, right? You're ready to do anything. just like the way that we're observing price right now. It's creating a huge upside. Why is it creating this huge upside? Well, we kind of proved that a little. We were doing nothing here. We were heavily contracted for all this time. We were doing nothing, right? Your 2-hour time frame. Here is us doing a bunch of nothing all over contraction. Here's your 3-hour time frame. A bunch of nothing, right? We are available. A bunch of nothing. 6-hour time frame. A bunch of nothing. We're sitting around. We're sitting around doing nothing. So if there's anything to push an upside here, if there's any reason to push it, when low volatility is there, that's when to do it. And then you start catching the behaviors. For some reason, this thing started to pop off right when the 1 month and 2 month are needing to kind of retrace back upward, right? Why is that? That's because the behavior has already existed. It predates our holding of our own bags. It's already done. It's been doing this. And that means that it is following a structure built from us ourselves. We manifest this. Once we start observing price like this, look at price, okay? I'm going to put this in a larger time frame, like a weekly time frame. Once you start knowing that these are moments of greed, that these are moments of fear, right? And in between, that is also true. Moments of greed, moments of fear in the shorter term. But once we start observing that these are just behaviors, and these are things that tend to happen to us regularly. That's just us. We do this to ourselves because that's typically how it happens. Wait. Before you go, let me actually show you though. Okay, let's put it to the test. So this is one magnificent upside here, right? Why don't we go to a bi-weekly to have more candles just so that we're not cheating? Okay, so let's look at this. When did we make this upside? Okay, so it looks like we made this upside on December of 2017. When did we top out? It looks like we topped out on January 1st, 2018. Do we have other iterations to where that is also true? Oh my goodness. Well, we do. This is December 2020, right? This is January 2021, but in this case, we did top out all the way up till maybe what? What was this? April 2021, but it's at the end of the year. Okay, 20 to 2021. This is 17 to 18. And what about here? Did we have anything for us to top out up there? Okay, so this candle here is starting November 2024. This one's here is December 2024, and then finally the top out in January. So it looks like we start around November and December for a massive run to the upside that just happens to top off roughly around January. How cool is that? Do we have, wait. Do we have other history to maybe prove that? What about this run? Let's see. So this is signaling right here, guys. Look at that. This is January 2017, right? So as we start moving, right? As we start moving to the upside, great. It didn't happen exactly in time, but it did do it at the beginning and the ending of the year, all this price. So as we move to that upside, sure, we price it in April or maybe even May here, but it still rhymes with the other ones too, right? That's the coolest thing here. This topping out here, it seems like an outlier, right? It topped out in December 2014, and then the next couple bars, January 2015 was up here. And every single time, guys, there is some type of behavior that does that. This top side is November. This is December here. So it's relative everywhere. It's at the ends of years. But there's also a happening here too. Do you guys remember what time frame we're closing? We're closing the 1, 2, 4, and 8 years that many people don't know of, right? Okay, so let's prove that sort of. Okay, so would that actually mean that this closing of the look at this, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, closing of the 4th year, and bam. Wait a second. Hold on just a sec. Did you just find something else out? Because not many people know that we're closing 1, 2, 4, and 8 years all confluently together. This and literally in just a couple days. And it just so happens that just like every other parabolic move, we've seen the closures of major time frames there, right? Now, I want you also to now that this one's taken here, let's count this. So we would count this as the first year closing, right? So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Are we really 2 days and 19 hours away from closing an 8-year bar? Wait a sec. ARCa, did you just find something out? Are you telling me here that we're about to make this move? No, I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you that there is a really, really interesting confluence when it comes to closing major time frames. But for some reason or another, we do have a pretty good probability of it, right? Okay, what about back here still? Let's put it let's just complicate it a little more. Let's just complicate it a little more. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're closing in 8. And then we made that move. And wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're closing a 4-year, and then we're making this move. Oh my goodness. Wait, so you're telling me that these annual candles here, no matter which way or what, like up, down, sideways, left and right, and perpendicular and horizontally and vertically, no matter which way, it's telling us that we have a high probability of continuation no matter what? Oh, dude. I wish honestly that I had someone to teach me this crap when I was first learning how to trade. This is called the cascading of time. It's actually a thesis written by me. No one else has this. And I really mean that, guys. The Ripple of Time is actually a book that I'm writing. The cascading of time, the ripples of time, time confluence. What happens when many time frames close? Psychologically speaking, we are bound to the rules of time. Think about it. You're thinking to yourself when you wake up, man, if I'm not out of this door at exactly 6:12 a.m., I am going to be late to work. If I am not out by 6:12 exactly, that is my last minute. So then you have 1,400 alarms going off from 5 a.m., fooling yourself that you're still sleeping further and further hours, right? And you have the it's getting late alarm, and this is the one that you have to wake up. And then this is the one where you have to wake up or else you're late. And you're not going to be out by the 6:12 a.m. Right? We are bound and we are a slave to to time itself. So that means that psychology follows time. Right? That means that we have a high probability of behaving the way time flows. So where time goes, we don't escape. So whatever time does, we are aware of it because we set this for ourselves. Because we all start to work, right? We all start to work at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. or whatever that is for your 9 to 5 shift. Whatever that is, all good. It's all good. But that's exactly what I'm talking about here. We are using time to determine where we can go. Psychology would be set simply around the formations that we build, right? We already know that bull pennants are very bullish formations. So if we have a bull pennant in line, let's go ahead and draw it, right? Well, it looks like we got one right in here somewhere, right? This is your bull pennant looking all good. Should it be that we can use maybe not this candle and we'll just use something like this so that we can extend it, just in case we have any sensitives here, we'll just go ahead and use it like this because we have plenty of tests down here to signal that that was 2 tests. Great. Now these triangles do what? They actually break out at 65 to 75% the apex of the triangle with a very, very, very high batting average. Did that, is this telling us that we got something happening? Well, there are 3 targets to meet. Target number 1 would be the first candle, just like we determined earlier today. That would be the first candle without any exposure, right? Inside of the structure. Then you have your 50, the half, right? The halfway point of your whole strategy here. This is 1. And then the last target would be the target from the top of the price action all the way to your lowest point in the back, right? These are the targets that you're given. Target number 1 You're given a target to reach right about this level here, around 156. But it's not really about 156. It's about what's actually tangible to it. So technically speaking, this would have told you that the target to the upside would actually be the top of this wick, around $2. And around $2 is just right about where we close this bar, at around 209, 207, right? Very interesting. Now, we do the same treatment to the center of the triangle. So let's go ahead and apply it to the same place. And let's find out what kind of crap it has there for us. So this is saying that the center of the triangle has a target to the upside of roughly 385. Wait a second. We already made an upside that was pretty dang close to that. The high of this is 366,596. It's right about that target, right? Oh my goodness, man. This is incredible. Is it really that we're following this? So then that means that we have one more target to realize from this formation itself. And mind you guys, I'm being really sloppy here. I'm doing whatever, right? So what about this? Let's go ahead and observe this here. Let's just put that there and see where that's taken us. Okay, well, that's nice. That's telling us that we have a probability of around 1650. Dang. Oh, man. What are we going to do with all this money here, man? You know what? I want, in the chat, let me know right now what your cost basis is. It doesn't matter if it's 380. It doesn't matter if it's 8 cents. Blast it in the chat right now. I want to know what your cost basis is. Let's rip it, team. Let me know. Let me know. Everybody put your cost basis in the chat right now. I want to see where you guys are at. Hit it, hit it, hit it. Guys, participate. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Oh, man. 53 cents? Damn. Keep it Keep it going. Keep it going. I want to know. Put your averages in. Put your averages in. Let's go. Let's go. You got out of XRP? Oh my goodness, man. Like, where did you buy it, right? Where did you buy your XRP? Did you buy it at $1? Did you buy it at $3? That's the cost basis. Keep it going, guys. Look, we have 226s, 191s. We have 53 cents, a massive 53 cents. 61, guys. My goodness. Put them up. Put them up. Let me know. Let me know. 80 cents, guys. Oh. Who are you guys with 50 cents, 47 and 66? No. You best about 1 week? Oh, no. Guys, you are going to be ballers. That is nasty. Wait. Are you guys? No. We got a 34 cent in there. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think there's anyone in here that beat the 34 cent. John Babe C. You took the cake on this one, man. 34 cents, bro. You have been holding. Guys, if you don't, okay. Here's a serious thing before I continue, okay? Hold on, I got something really serious to tell you. We're going to allow a couple more in here to tell us what that cost basis is. But I'm going to go ahead and abruptly shut the music, right? Because I got something to tell you. Let the guys put it in there. Put it in there. Let me know your cost basis. That's amazing, guys. Outstanding. All right. So here. Okay. All right. Listen, the question is that for ARCa. The question is, ARCa, what is your cost basis? Now, I know that I have OGs in here too. So if you know the answer, throw an A in the chat. Let me know if you do know what that answer is. Throw an A in the chat right now if you know the answer as to why I have or don't have or what my cost basis is. Okay, so we already have some OGs coming in saying that they know the answer. My cost basis is 9 cents. I'm just kidding. No, no. No, my average is not $6. If it were $6, that means I was probably a CEO and I was purchasing the upside because I believe in it so much. So that would be a great thing for everybody here, right? Okay, so I'm going to give you the answer here, guys. Remember that I am a short-term trader. Number one, I haven't really introduced myself because of whatever. Hold on, let me adjust this mic. Okay. And here I am, right? Here I am, bare and true. Okay. My cost basis team. I don't own any XRP. And if the OGs remember, I loaded the team at around 50 cents. And I loaded the team around 50 cents because there was a specific signal. Now, the amount of hate I got by saying that this would run from 48 cents to about $1.60 into $2.50s into the high threes and maybe $4, you guys don't even know how ridiculous the amount of hate came in. Guys, oh my goodness. People were saying, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, bro. You're full of shit, brother. You don't know nothing. They're saying this thing can't even break 60 cents. You're out of your mind for saying that this is about to go to $3. But I said that there was a specific signal here. And at that moment, I did own a little bit, but just to test it. And how much did I own? $9. So I got rid of that bag, though. The bag is $9. Imagine, guys, the people who have $9 in BTC from 2009. They're billionaires, right? So to test the upside, I put $9 in it because I don't want bias. If I am long the asset, that means that I am prone to being biased towards the upside. But that's not really what I'm about here because I'm a short-term trader. I pull the profits out of my trades immediately. I take the trade. I take the trade for just a few seconds, maybe a couple minutes, maybe a few hours, and then I'm done. And that's what I do. Now, if I did hold XRP, that means that I would be biased towards the upside, which means that I would probably be psychologically affected by any move that happens, and then I'm going to be worried about the money that I'm losing and or gaining. So I'm not going to allow myself to be there when we have literally millions of participants holding this asset. So I really don't. I don't own any. But I know that family does, and I know that friends do, and I know that you guys do. And that's the most important thing. Because in crypto, guys, the best thing to really do in crypto is actually to maybe just buy and hold, right? Because it's a very volatile market. It's dangerous in crypto. It really is because of the amount of green traders, right? There are a lot of traders out there that want to leverage into purchasing things, and then they don't realize how close they are to a margin call or how close they are to a liquidation level. And then they just, pull the market and push the market in respects to the perpetual contracts or futures contracts, right? So there's always fluctuation in big numbers because we have people trading the 50x, the 25x, the 100x, the 200x of whatever that is. That fluctuation creates danger, creates volatility. Lots of unidirectional volatility here. So you guys can literally get your asses handed to, right? So that's a dangerous thing. But it's playable and it's awesome, right? So if I were to own this, then I'm telling you, then I would probably be biased. And I mean, guys, I guess there's no way ever that I can ever show you that I don't own any, but I really don't. I really don't because I really want to say to everybody that I don't care. So if I say that this thing has a downside coming in, which by the way, does happen, there have been times to where I mentioned just something like this. Let me show you, right? I will be honest with you by telling you things like this. Okay. So I will be creative and I won't tell you this thing's about to fall to the ground. You're all going to eat crap here. No, I won't say that, but I will say something like this. XRP, be patient. Let price come to you because you may actually want to purchase at a lower bound, right? And now I will mention things like this. The floor for a moonshot, right? I would say upside inbound, know the play, know the targets. And then I'll put it, the floor has been found. So I will creatively state that there is a downside coming in, and I'll give you the bad news in the video should you watch the entire thing. Because I never give the answers right away. It's not on purpose. It's just that I never prepare my charts. I don't script this. I just say what I say because I'm reading it live and I zone in. That's the way I do it. So I can't distinguish, the 6 minute or the 7th or 9th minute of the video to give you the answer. I don't schedule like that. Right? I don't really do that. And another thing is that I try to avoid this a lot. What's next? I try to avoid questions in my titles because I don't depend on questions. In fact, if many of you don't really know this, right? Many of you don't really know this, but I have already mentored around 400 master students. And the one thing I teach is to make sure that you never return to anyone else. I want the students to come and go. I don't want their monthly subscriptions. I don't want anything else. I'm going to teach them so well that they're going to know from here on that they can depend on only themselves should they be given a target. I don't care if it bites me in the foot. Guys, I'm here because I lost, a couple jobs, right? And my son was also dying. And for those of you, you already know the story behind that. 2 years old and my boy was dying. So that was around 5 years ago, 4.5 years ago. So I didn't have a way out. So somebody told me that I would be an amazing trader. I don't know how they saw that, but they saw that. So I put it to work and I lost all my money. I lost all my money in AMC, right? Ken Griffin took it. But that's the biggest blessing from it, that it was taken from me. Because I was immediately curious as to who was receiving it from that end. How did you get it? How is my money dropping and how is that happening? I really imagined like my account going like this and somebody else is going like that. I'm like, whoa, how the crap can that actually happen? Is it true? So I immediately started to study and the bug bit. Simply speaking, the bug bit me. And then I started noticing that there was a lot of price action that people didn't understand. Me too, brother. So I put out the mathematical thesis regarding volatility and momentum on my 6th month of trading. Guys, I had, I was trying to buy components, right? Because I am a music producer, right? I've been music producer, mixing engineer, multi-instrumentalist singer here for plus 22 years. I have mastery in that. I actually have music and I have rights and agreements with 20th Century Fox. I have music out on shows on TV. But that's not that, man, music doesn't really pay. It doesn't really pay as much. And also, I tried to be an influencer for music when I was trying to figure this out for my son, right? Because we were dead broke. We had just bought a new house. We had just new cars and everything, right? And we couldn't afford that not having a job because of COVID and because of other reasons. The job I had was a sound guy. I was a sound guy. So the stages in light of COVID, right? The tailwinds of COVID were that all those stages for sound guys and performers, they closed down. No more live events. So I'm going to lose my second job there. So I lost it. Our little pocket of cash went away quickly, especially living in California. So from there, I needed to figure it out. I tried to be a music influencer, but I realized that anyone could just become a music influencer and be whatever. It's a popularity contest. But in stock and in cryptocurrency, I found something really cool, which then actually transferred over to how I teach. Is that there is nothing you can do about telling you where price may be in the future. And I've been called crazy. I can't believe you do that, ARCa. You put yourself out there and you say where the price is going to be. You don't get nervous? Hell yeah, I do. I do. But if I'm going to trust anything, it's going to be numbers. So I'd rather trust numbers rather than people, because people lie. Numbers really don't, right? It's completely statistical. It's mathematical. It's not an opinion that I created. It's a probability that's being displayed in a public platform. You can see it too. All you have to do is look and study it. So that was the key element to grow in stock trading, that I was able to tell where price may or may not go with a higher probability. So now I'm not talking about things in hindsight. I'm not talking about things that happened before. I'm telling you where it's going to go. And that changed everything for me. That's what I teach my students. I teach them how to tell where price action is going to go. You know, you want to know to what degree? I want them to tell me where price is going to go from the opening of Euro Open, 1 a.m. Pacific time. Where is it going to top out or retrace from into the early pre-market, 4 a.m. Pacific? Where is it going to bounce from at 4 a.m. Pacific to go to the traditional pre-market, which is 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern, right? Where is price going to potentially open at market open in stocks, right? Equities. Where is price going to go from the market open into the first hour or two? Where is it going to go into lunchtime? Where is it going to go from lunchtime, and where is it going to close? To that degree, I'm teaching my students. I want them to know how price moves using time. And I have many, many talented ones now. But what I do know, guys, is that the people that help me inside of the ARCa Bulls trading team, those people are actually self-built here. We are our own machine. And we have a lot of people here that have helped us out, guys. I promise you. Voucher $15 average. Brother, I love you. So if we can build each other like that, that means that we can continue working it, right, guys? So that's all that it is. And I guess we're going to now, right, because we closed a lot of time frames, we're going to find out how much more this has, right? How much more this price can go. I want to know too. And by the way, we're, right after this, we're going to go to what we call the after party, right? The after party is actually market prep. We're going to go to my Discord. And then we just market prep. People ask me for tickers and we do that, right? And for now, right, for the last few days here, for the last couple of weeks, it's free. Everyone's coming in, but also they're preparing for when this thing changes into a tier. But I've been doing this, guys, for a long time. As far as me, 4 years isn't really a long time, but I try to be steady with you guys. I try to be transparent, and I try to be as honest as I can be. So if that interests you, hit the link below, because there is an end of year sale here for 2 mentorships and 2 of my primary algorithms. I just take it. Try it for yourself. See if it works out. One of them being this. This is SH-CHRONOSYS, right? So it gave you a buy side signal over here, right? This was yesterday. Gave you a sell over here. This thing gave you a buy here, and it's still not selling. These are traditional signals, whatever signals, right? These are just based around time as well. SH-CHRONOSYS is a proprietary system of mine, right, that I have put together. So if you guys have SH-CHRONOSYS already, then these are the settings that I'm using for a 17-minute and 11-minute time frame. You'll be able to, rewind and come and see that. And then just put them on your settings and see how that works. I'm trying. We're also guys, I have to mention this because if I don't, I'm going to get killed, right? But we also have partnered with PHEMEX, the broker exchange. And the reason why is, I know it's going to be a little tough for my US people to get it, but the reason why we partnered with them is because we have the ability to have broker connect. We can connect directly to TradingView from PHEMEX because they have that broker agreement, right? So when that's possible, they now have given me a special tier for my signers to use with my link, which is in the description here, right? So if you use that link, you'll be able to get that execution discount that is only available through me. So we're doing algorithmic trading as well, meaning that we are building systems that are trading automatically in the market. And now we are starting to show the results live in Discord. Today, I don't know if you guys already noticed that Panda put up the results that are coming out regarding Hybrid 1. So guys, arcabulls@gmail.com. Let me know if you're interested in any of that. Let me know if guys, click on the link below on the square link and sign up for your next 2 mentorships because they're starting here in a few days. Okay? So hit it, team. I want you to be a part of this journey. I'm not always going to be there, to teach. At one point, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to stop teaching here, right? And we're gonna have to continue onto just trading and algorithmic development. Sorry, guys. I know that I just drank in front of you. It's just I was serious about the question, and it did have to trail into this. Oh man! But if you have enjoyed the show so far, we're gonna go ahead and finish it off by giving further targets on the price action of XRP. I want to take a look at Ethereum a little bit here too, right, guys? But if you do have any requests, if you do have anything like that, don't hesitate to come by the Discord and see what's up, right? Because right now, guys, my market preps are completely open to the public, and they won't be for the next few days. Until the next few days, right? That is. So if you have enjoyed the show so far, guys, throw an A in the chat, and most importantly, for the algorithm, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, guys. It really does make a huge difference, and it really does help. It really does help the algorithm favor us, right? To try to spread a different way of observing the markets, a different way to study the markets, because every trader has a unique trait, and I try to find it. And the traits that you're observing here from me, guys, those are very unique to me only, and they're proprietary to me. Multi-formations, time biases, all that, guys, is not existent. The terms don't exist. They're mine. I want to teach you them. I will never hold back a secret. I will always give you the answers. Because when I give you the answers, it doesn't mean that you're going to trade it like I do. And that doesn't mean I'm going to trade it like you do either. So let's see where your brains can go. But thank you guys so much. Oh, man, you remember. Hit the ATW in the chat, guys. I love it. I love it. I love it. You have been here with me all the way. I love it so much, team. This has been a really nice crowd tonight. I didn't expect it to be so big, right? I'm really happy and completely humbled. Just want to say my thanks here right before we find out the price is coming up. But thank you guys really, really so much for coming out. It means the world to me for you to be here and support the ARCa Bulls trading team. So yes, the camera is off. Let's turn it on. It's time. So let's go ahead and do it. I love it, guys. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's go, you guys. Let's pull out of here and observe the continuation of price action for XRP. And I am back. I am back, and I am alive, and I am ready to go with you, right? I love it. And I know, guys, I didn't say hi to all the familiar faces here. I love you all so much, man. So much. So let's go ahead and get this done, team. Okay. Let's go from granular again, right? This time around, we already know, right, that we have a target of, let's just kind of put it like this. We're just going to kind of hide everything. How about that? We're going to kind of hide everything here and start off fresh because you guys deserve a fresh look to the analysis here, okay? All right, so this is going to be hidden like that. And maybe we could just put here diamond pennant. Okay, cool. That's just about there. And then now we can just do this and that, right? Cool. So perfect. Guys, I love it. Thank you so much for all the love, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, team. So let's do it. Let's figure out the price. Number one, of course, you guys know that I tend to look for psychological signals. The reason why things would move up or down, right? And we noticed already that we did have a diamond pennant. So how about we don't use the diamond pennant this time? Let's use something else. Let's see if we can use, guys, you're really catching my process here, right? One by one. I don't care about starting it. Whatever time frame has the most obvious signal is where I'm going. That's what I want. Okay, so we're going to use a different one here. We're not going to use the, like I said, the diamond. We're going to use this instead in inverse head and shoulders, right? So we have two shoulders here and the head at the very bottom, right? So this shows us that it has a high probability formation. And the neckline, I think I'm going to use, oh, goodness. I hate it when it goes higher because then it, the targets become lesser probabilities. But, when in crypto. Okay, so this is our regression here on a neckline, right? So what we do next is just simply put down a trend line from the center of that area all the way down to the lowest parts where the head is located, right? Right about here. Cool. The target to the upside from here, given on a psychological perspective, would be at the center of your right-hand shoulder. So roughly, I would say right about here. Okay, so the target to the upside is said to be about 194.20. Okay, so naturally, I already want to go to a larger time frame. Why do I want to do that? Well, I want to go to a larger time frame, right? I want to, number one, I'm going to color this a different thing so you know that it's there. There it is. So you can still see it here. I'm going to a larger time frame because I want to know where price can go to in relation to the psychological top. The psychological target is important, right? It is important, but what's tangible is most important. So if I move up just a little bit more to the high of this prior weekly bar, that shows us that this top of the bar is confluent to this low of the bar. And then just putting a line all the way across, you can see that we have another confluent one here too. So that's already giving me some really important information. If I drop the time frame to a 5-day, look at this. We have the high of this bar here. We have both of these bars there. So the more times you rhyme by touching areas of averages like that, that's potentially your target. Your higher probability target is observed by giving you by price. Price gives it to you already. So if you want to continue with price to the upside, then all you do is simply try to look at the confluence continuing. So I guess for now, I can see that there's a tip here, right? There's a tip right here. There's a tip right here. So that already gives me an idea of price action. Maybe this top can be the liquidity top. Great. But now as we draw these, you're then kind of observing that, man, so this thing gives you a center target, a bottom target, and a top target too. Holy crap. So what do I do? Just like in any video, guys, just like in any video, any analysis that I put out, right? I'm going to go ahead and draw that just like this. And we're going to put the receipts there. So let's put them down. Top side target looks like we could reach a 196.772. Middle target, 195.904. Bottom side target here would be around 194.891. Okay, great. Cool. So we have that top side to look out for. Do we continue toward that upside or not? Because remember, this is based around that inverted head and shoulders. That's all. We're identifying the continuation to the upside simply because that little drawing is telling us that we're probably going to do it. This one over here, right? So remember, it's not about the psychological measured move. It's about what's tangible. It's about what has been there before. Because think of it like a checkpoint. Okay, cool. So we got that target in. Everything is looking fine, right? So now what we're going to do is measure the continuation. Number one, notice here that this 6-hour time frame with this enormous green bar is closing in 6 minutes. And typically speaking, this retraces to the 50%, 30 to 50% is bar when you're around 7 to 9 minutes away. So you're at 6 minutes and you're about 30% of the bar. Time again, guys. That's your time confluence all over again. Now, should it go to the 50%? Can it within 5 minutes? Well, sure, anything can happen, right? But all we have to do is kind of just plot it. The 50% of this bar is located at this target here, but before this target of 188, right? Before this 188 target, which I'm going to display like this here, there are all of these other candles that are rhyming together, right? And they're relatively close to where we're sitting now. But we're also sitting at support. Let me zoom in. We're right in here. It is a soft support. It is a soft support. So I expect price action to maybe drop a little more here. And that's discretion. I'm just giving you discretion here. I don't know that this has enough weight. So if it were up to me, I think that price action may actually drop on this 6-hour time frame. Maybe, right? Down to this confluent area. Right? There's a bunch of candles in there. There's also this one, this little tip there too. All good. Right? And if we look historically, we might find another, right? So there they are. Okay. so if it is that zone, then I'm going to go ahead and draw my first line right here. This is just speculating a potential bottom regarding the pullback from the 6-hour time frame, which is about to close, right? So this is an area where I expect there to be potential buying activity. Now, buying activity does happen. Now, know this as well, though. At the opening of your next 6-hour bar, there is a 60 to 70% chance to get a 30 to 50% prior bar pullback. We marked off this 188.835 target as a 50% zone, which is identifying as, I don't know, do we have this area here looks like to be a better 50%. We have that wick there, we have these candles there, and maybe a whole bunch of others back there too. These can be reasons to prevent price action from going down to that actual level. So instead of guessing that it is or it isn't, we'll just take over that entire zone. Let's just say that price action has a probability of dropping from this wick here, right, to that 50%. The 50% hard target would actually be the top of this wick. Okay, so there we go. So technically speaking, this down here would be our 50% retrace when this bar closes after 3 minutes. Because we have resistance up here. And the downside is not in the 6-hour. This has a massive upside. It's about to close this. So that means, remember, that we're not going to find the continuation to the upside or downside within the larger time frame just yet. Because the immediate short term is already cascading to that downside all by itself. How do I know that? Why would I say that? Well, because it retraced within the last 7 to 10 minutes, right? So let's go to the 15-minute time frame. It should be downside. There you go. Downside and fully expanded. We're gassing it towards the downside. 2 minutes and 39 seconds closing, red outside bar, new lower low, and continuing ladder attacks, right? Okay, so we do the math. How much downside do we have? So, you know, the 10-minute time frame, sure, it's downside too. It's probably nosediving. There you go. And we're expanding to the downside, but that's not a bad thing. Let's go to the 20-minute. So 20-minute is showing that it still has downside, just like we did earlier. Remember this, just like we did earlier, we want to identify what time frame is going to show us the full momentum upside. And that's going to give us the final time frame average true range for the downside, the opposition. So let's find it. Which one has the absolute upside? 30-minute time frame, here we go. Okay, it still has down. Hourly time frame, let's go. Still has down and needs to be indefinitely upside, just like we talked about before. Almost there, almost there. 3-hour time frame, perfect. So that means that we have about 3 hours time frame of downside, but it's closing in 1 minute and 30. So that means that when this opens, this continues to a low. How much? 2 cents. From this certain area here, it would be around 187.330. But we don't know where it's going to close, right? It's just said that it would be around this target here. The data cells, which is, you know, another one of my algorithms, is active. It's shifting as it goes. So 1 minute to go. What say you? Should we wait this 1 minute to find out exactly how much downside we can have? Because something tells me that this is still going to favor further upside. And why that is because we're closing the bar way above the prior bar's close and much, much more than the opening itself. So here we go. Okay, hold on. We're still going. So now it's telling us that the low would be roughly 187.330, 35 seconds to go. Come on. Close it. I'm gonna take a sip of water here while this thing does its little ridiculousness here, right? As soon as we know that closing valuation, we'll get the average true range, right, guys? Here it goes. 10 seconds to go. All right. So it closed at 190.064. As soon as we open this will likely push further up, and this will likely show more volatility too. Look, There we go. More volatility, further push up. So we're still actually on a downside trend. Now, why would that be? Because now this thing showed a kink. So this doesn't give us the total downside just yet. Not yet. We need to find the time frame that absolutely has the pivot favoring the upside indefinitely. It has to be perfect. Remember, the process has to be followed. Let's go to the 4 hour. 4 hour time frame still has 2 hours to close, and that's it right there. Look at this. Look at the posturing on that. Perfectly upside. Okay, so now we know that the average true range would actually be favored by a 4 hour time frame and not a 3. Okay, and we're expanding nicely. So that shows us that the ATR low would be actually around 189.106. So let's put that into action here. Here we go. You're going to see it right now, 189.106, right? Here is the 189. Where is it? Where did I put it? Right around there, 189.70. I have many other candles in here, guys. Look at this. It just touched. Do you guys remember what this is here? That's the 6 hour time frame. That's your 6 hour time frame, 50%. The 30% retrace. Okay, so if the 4 hour time frame is already done with that, that means technically this would be that would be it. The average true range has met, and this would be the bounce area for an upside. And we're sort of catching an upside right now. But that doesn't mean that guys, remember this, that the 4 hour time frame, all it's doing is retracing the prior bars 30 to 50% before continuing. Because this has an absolute bullish stance, right? So we open the bar, and then we have those probabilities of a retrace. It's a normal thing for us to pull back like this. So the targets that we were already observing are the ones that are being used here to retrace. So now, if this does have, look at price, right? 190.016.008. Sure, we can go ahead and still even bottom out down here. We may even show a wick all the way down to the actual 50% of the 4 hour bar because we still have those probabilities. But the point of what we're doing here is to show you that there are levels that we can purchase at. Because this is just a temporary bottom. The likelihood of price action continuing to the upside is already there. All we have to do is just kind of play out what the immediate short-term time frame wants, and then we continue. So the upside is actually starting from a 4 hour. So 4 hour upside, 6 hour volatility expansion, upside bias still in stochastic momentum, looking good, right? Let's continue here with the next bar. 8 hour time frame still has 2 hours to close. Upside, we're starting to expand. Nice. 12 hour time frame is still short. So we're using that the cascading of time, right? We still have 6 hours for the 12 hour, and look at this upside. We're critically contracted. Let's continue. We're just going to focus on momentum now. So huge upside on the daily. By daily time frame, we still have upside. That's not pivoted to the downside. Remember, we need the downside together with stochastics. Still upside on a 3 day. Still upside on a 4. That's a little kinked down here, so that's not it yet. Weekly time frame, let's see. It's still kinked, right? Still upside. Bi-weekly time, let's see where you are. Still kinked. I'm going to go more granular. Let's do a 3 week. 3 week time still shows a kink. It's not done. 4 week time. Oh, man. It's slightly bent, so I think it would be the 1 month, and we already kind of knew that, right? Okay, cool. But it's closing in 2 days. So this bounce that you're getting from the 4 hour and the 6 hour 50%, that's falling confluent with the 25 hours to 48 hours average 1 month to 2 month decompression time to the 50%, right? And the 50% of this monthly, just for now to kick things off, right, would give us a target of roughly 198. Now, the target to 198 is what? Well, let's go ahead and surprise you a little bit here and go back down to those tiny time frames and show you that we already had something similar to that 198. We had here just about almost 197 on a retrace towards the upside because of what? because of this inverse head and shoulders. So the inverse head and shoulders is showing you this target up here, but the tangible targets are up here. And 198 is pretty nice, right? It does have a liquidity top. Look at that. This crazy wick over here before things exploded to the upside. How did we ignore that? Of course it'd be there. Perfect. So I'm sticking to the thesis. Temporary downside. Pullback is still, the pullback is likely, right? We have the entry conditions anywhere between the zones that we talked about, right? This area here, 189s. We can fall to the 50% of the area here, which would be these as entry conditions. So that's another pocket of entry. Right about here. Here. And if you want to be super critical with your 50%, it would be right there. Okay. So all of it's still within the 189s and 188.7 here. Okay, but we still don't know that, we still don't know if we're going to reach it. We have a closer coming up really, really soon. Okay, so guys, I think that the upside continuation today is showing us what? Remember what we talked about on the daily ATR. How much upside do we have left? Daily ATR top is saying that we have just around 194.626. Do we have any other time frames that are closing alongside the daily? What about the 2-day? No. 3-day? Yes. The 3 days closing also in 17 hours. So the current ATR top on this is showing you that it would be around 204. So the target of 204 would be located all the way up, let's see, just around here. So the 204 target, what the heck is that even rhyming with? Let's go to the monthly and see anything in there that can help us determine why it would even go there in the first place. Okay, well, we can already see that the 204 target is literally nowhere, but there is something below it, right about here. And there is something below that because price action is actually going upward, right? Price action is actually moving towards the upside, so these resistances, the lower ones, would be first. So what targets are those right there? So it wouldn't actually be 204. It would actually be this target, 196. And again, let's go ahead and remind ourselves where our top side target would be regarding the inverse head and shoulders, 196. So that makes, that makes a huge probability. And hold on, let's see where we're bouncing from. Let's take a quick look. Oh my goodness. Wait a second. Sorcery! You, sir, are a witch. You are to be burned at the stake here. Right? But guys, it doesn't mean that I'm wrong. It doesn't mean that I'm right. It simply means that this is the higher probability move. And statistically speaking, and with volatility in line and with formation theory in line, all we did was what I usually teach my students. All we did was just combine strategies. We combined a psychological strategy, a statistical one, a technical one, a psychological one. And do we have the fundamental key for this? Yeah, we do. We do. We have IPOs, ETFs. We have Singapore Africa thing man, a whole bunch of things. So guys, if you'd like to join the master's course, guys, let me know. Even if you need a payment plan, I don't care. It doesn't matter, guys. I'm giving you 2 algorithms and 2 courses for like nothing on the dollar, right? So make sure, hit the link in the description below, get enrolled. I want to see you guys participate here, but it is time for me to get over to my trading team for the market prep. We have been streaming here, guys, for just about just an hour, 40 minutes. So I think it would be a great time for us to observe that market prep. Come on by to the Discord, right? Say hello and enjoy some more price action, right? But I'd like to, guys, thank you all so much. Oh, Cap Kelly, I love you so much, my brother. Thank you, brother, for supporting. I really appreciate that, team. So let's see about it, guys. The markets are balancing now, okay, team? The markets really put people out over the last 3 to 4 weeks. Many institutions closed doors. Many of the really successful traders that I know drew down big money. And I'm talking day traders. It's not an easy thing, guys. But if I know one thing is to maintain consistency and be there for the friends and family that have always been there for me, many of which are sitting right in here in this room now. So know, guys, that I'm here for you and I will never stop being there for you. And I will always be true to my word, and I promise that. So with that said, team, I really appreciate you for coming out. And please, you're back from the dead Northwest. Good to see you there, brother. But thank you all so much. Coolest. I love it, man. I love it. Come by, team. Then I will catch you very scary Larry. You know how I say later, right? Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot have you guys buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever in light of me. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well a very good rest of your night and or day, and I will catch you at the Bell Mañana. Adios, team. Oh, yeah.